Carlisle has now distanced herself, but has effectively thrown Henyard under the bus, the semi, and the train, revealing the depths of deception that she alleges that she witnessed while serving under Tiffany Henyard.
You could feel the anger tonight at a Board of Trustees meeting in Thornton Township. The board and citizens looking for accountability to their finances, while the township supervisor...
I am a wife. I'm a mother of 3 children. My children and my family are suffering because of this loss. And Dalton police, the detectives, have been sitting around twiddling their fingers on this case.
You out of order, Clerky. Like, stop. Y'all out of order. Everybody want to run stuff. Y'all don't run this house over here. Stop.
Word on the street is that the FBI might have stumbled upon a treasure trove of evidence that could land this controversial figure behind bars. It seems the hardworking taxpayers' money has been funding quite the lavish lifestyle, and the authorities are not turning a blind eye. But wait, there's more! A shocking development has emerged from within Henyard's own ranks. A whistleblower has stepped forward, pointing an accusing finger at their boss and spilling the beans on how she managed to pull off this elaborate embezzlement scheme right under everyone's noses. Talk about a plot twist. This bombshell comes hot on the heels of Henyard's alleged pilfering of funds from the village of Dalton for her personal indulgences. As if that wasn't enough, she's reportedly racked up a mountain of credit card debt that would make even the most extravagant spenders blush. Now, we've all heard tales of corrupt officials, but Henyard's case is shaping up to be one for the history books. The good people of Dalton are not about to let this slide, and they're determined to make an example of her that won't soon be forgotten. In a desperate attempt to salvage her reputation, Henyard and her team tried to recruit journalists to dismiss the whole affair as fake news, but they didn't count on former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who's leading the investigation, to come out swinging. Lightfoot pulled no punches as she set the record straight, emphasizing the very real nature of these allegations. She painted a vivid picture of Henyard living it up like a pop superstar while racking up millions in debt, all while the hardworking folks of Dalton continue to struggle.
I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 3 children. My children and my family are suffering because of this loss. And Dalton police, the detectives, have been sitting around twiddling their fingers on this case. This is hurtful. When I've been in contact, I've been asking questions. I've been in contact with the state's attorney's office. I'm pushing this case. I've had the Crime Stoppers come out to do additional work canvassing the neighborhood, to assist the police. And nothing has been...
It all kicked off back in March when the village bigwigs of Dalton decided they'd had enough of Mayor Tiffany Henyard's shenanigans. They called a powwow to dig into her alleged misuse of public funds, and boy did they open a can of worms. During one of these tense meetings, Trustee Norwood dropped a bombshell. They'd asked Tiffany to cough up some financial records, but she stonewalled them faster than a politician dodging tough questions. That's when they decided to bring in the big guns, none other than former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, to untangle this financial mess. Norwood painted a grim picture, revealing they hadn't seen a bank statement since last September when they were already drowning in a cool $7 million of debt. Talk about being in the red. They were practically begging to see where their hard-earned tax dollars were vanishing to. Was it all going up in smoke with fancy dinners and jet-setting adventures? But wait, there's more. The plot thickened when a slew of ex-employees slapped Tiffany with lawsuits, claiming she'd given them the boot for no good reason. And here's where it gets really dark. One former employee dropped a bombshell, alleging she'd been sexually assaulted by a trustee member in Tiffany's inner circle. Now, hold on to your hats because this is where it gets truly twisted. When the victim reportedly confided in Tiffany about the assault, our esteemed mayor supposedly told her to zip it, warning that spilling the beans could undo all her hard work. Talk about misplaced priorities. But here's the kicker. Before this whole investigation blew up like a powder keg, some eagle-eyed citizens had already smelled something fishy. They tried to dig deeper, but Tiffany flexed her mayoral muscles to keep them at bay, blocking their attempts to unearth any dirt on her. Folks, this story is far from over, and something tells me we're just scratching the surface of this political potboiler.
When she arrived at work this morning, something strange happened.
This was your office?
Yes.
What happened when you tried to open it?
He doesn't work.
Not only had Elston been locked out of her own office, but boxes of sensitive documents that she kept in her office were spread around the common area.
This was under lock and key before.
This was under lock and key.
And now it's just out in the open?
Now it's just out in the open. So it has the taxpayer's name, address.
So who did this to you?
Well, I imagine this new supervisor, Tiffany Henyard.
Brian and Natalie, it is very clear that the trustees in Thornton Township have trust issues, refusing to second a motion by Tiffany Henyard to get routine township bills paid.
She lived lavishly, flaunting a lifestyle fit for a Hollywood star while recklessly spending public funds as if they were her own. She offered nothing in return, leaving behind a trail of destruction and greed, with no intention other than to take advantage and cause chaos.
To put some safeguards in place to regulate what's spent on the credit card.
I do not want a credit card. I do not deal with money.
Earlier this month, former Mayor Lori Lightfoot revealed the village of Dalton, where Henyard also serves as the mayor, racked up hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card purchases after Henyard's critics walked out Wednesday.
The good people of Dalton, fed up with the stench of corruption, demanded Henyard and her cronies hit the bricks. But did our illustrious mayor take the hint? Not a chance. She dug her heels in deeper than a mule in mud, seemingly determined to keep that gravy train rolling. Now get this. With a mountain of evidence piling up like dirty laundry, Henyard's still trying to paint herself as the victim. Can you believe the nerve? She's out here calling out the media for not covering her positive deeds. It's like trying to put lipstick on a pig, folks. She had the gall to say, "I wish you guys would come for the positive things, not the chaos." She even bragged about an Easter event with 500 kids, as if that makes everything hunky-dory. But honey, the FBI isn't interested in your Easter egg hunt when there's a whole chicken coop of corruption to investigate. Speaking of investigations, the feds are turning over every stone in Henyard's life. They're digging into her restaurant, her supposed charity foundation, and allegations of scamming donors. Turns out her charity isn't even registered with the AG's office. They slapped her with a cease and desist, but did she listen? Ha! She kept raking in the dough faster than a baker on Sunday morning. The New York Post spilled the tea on 2 subpoenas that landed on Henyard's desk. The feds want everything: personnel files, tax documents, contracts, you name it. They're combing through her restaurant, her property management company, leaving no stone unturned. So, the feds are digging deeper than a mole in a garden, demanding every scrap of paper from Henyard's Political Action Committee and her so-called charity. They want it all: budgets, payroll, credit card statements, you name it. They're even sniffing around the township's vehicle usage. Talk about leaving no stone unturned. Now hold on to your wallets, because what Lori Lightfoot's investigation uncovered will make your eyes water. Our girl Tiffany apparently went on a shopping spree that would make a Kardashian blush: $43,000 on Amazon in one day. That's not a typo, folks. She also dropped $7,000 at Wayfair and another $2,200 at Best Buy. And let's not forget the nearly $3,000 spent on trips in just 1 year. Living large on the taxpayer's dime, anyone? But wait, there's more. The village of Dalton is drowning in debt faster than a lead balloon in a swimming pool. They owe over $6 million to vendors but only have a $3.6 million spending deficit. How'd that happen? Well, it seems Tiffany decided to play big sister, beefing up the police department's budget from $7.7 million to a whopping $9.2 million in just 2 years. I mean, who does she think she is? The president? Even big city mayors aren't throwing around cash like this, but Tiffany wants us to believe she needs all this dough to get things done. Pull the other one, it's got bells on. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Tiffany's protective wall is crumbling faster than a sandcastle at high tide. One of her own team members, Carmen Carlisle, just spilled more tea than a Boston Harbor party. Carmen's not holding back, accusing Tiffany of unethical and predatory behavior, manipulating everyone from employees to vendors, all while painting a pretty picture of success funded by hardworking taxpayers. Carmen's not just speaking up for herself, but for all the other victims who've been pushed around, fired, or lied to by Henyard. Sounds like there might be more skeletons in this closet than in a haunted house.
There's more. Now, Carlisle claims that Tiffany manipulated her for years, even pressuring her to falsely state that the mayor had no involvement in establishing the controversial Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation. Carlisle also alleged that she refused to comply, leading to her decision to expose Henyard's action And in a powerful move, Carlisle has now distanced herself, but has effectively thrown Henyard under the bus, the semi, and the train, revealing the depths of deception that she alleges that she witnessed while serving under Tiffany Henyard.
Remember Carmen Carlisle, the whistleblower who spilled the beans? Well, Tiffany's response was about as subtle as a bull in a china shop. She came out swinging, slapping Carmen with the nickname Lion Carlisle. Talk about keeping it classy. Tiffany's trying to paint Carmen as a Johnny-come-lately to the truth party, saying, "You should have been putting the same energy in play when you weren't saying a word a year ago." But here's the kicker. Tiffany's attempts at damage control are about as effective as using a Band-Aid on a broken leg. She's out here trying to gaslight her own team faster than you can say corrupt politician, but it seems like the truth train has already left the station. The court of public opinion is in session, and they're not pulling any punches. Some folks are calling for Tiffany's accounts to be frozen faster than ice in the Arctic. Others are ready to see her perp walked out of office. It's like watching a political version of Survivor. Who's going to be voted off the island next? The million-dollar question now is, will more of Tiffany's team follow Carmen's lead and start singing like canaries? Or will they circle the wagons and hope this all blows over like a summer storm? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. It's got more twists and turns than a pretzel factory, and I've got a feeling we're in for more surprises. Will Tiffany's political career go down faster than a lead balloon, or will she somehow wriggle out of this mess? What do you think, dear listeners? Is Tiffany's goose cooked, or does she have a few more tricks up her sleeve? Will more team members turn on her, or will they stand by their embattled leader?